Let's talk, really talk. You have worked your entire life, you have saved, you have sacrificed, and now you are looking toward retirement. This isn't some far-off dream anymore, it's getting closer every single day. But are you truly ready? I don't just mean emotionally ready to leave your job, I mean financially ready. Can you afford the life you want to live when the regular paychecks stop coming in? The single most powerful tool you have to answer that question is a retirement budget. I know. The word budget makes some of you want to run for the hills, but stop that thinking right now. A budget is not a punishment. It is not about deprivation. A budget is a plan for your freedom. It is you telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. A retirement budget is the blueprint for your future. Think about it. You wouldn't build a house without a detailed blueprint, would you? Of course not. You would end up with a crooked mess. So why build the next 20, 30, or even 40 years of your life without a solid financial plan? Now let's get started. Alright, before we can build your beautiful retirement blueprint, we need the building materials. Go on a little financial treasure hunt. Gather every single piece of paper that has to do with your money. A big folder, a box, whatever you need, get organized. This is the foundation. Do not skip this step or do it halfway. Being thorough here will make the entire process 10 times easier. It's not just numbers. It's getting reacquainted with your financial life. See it all laid out. What are you looking for? Bank statements, last 3 to 6 months, all of them. Checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, investment statements, most recent. 401k or 403b, IRA, Roth IRA, traditional brokerage accounts, mutual funds, outside retirement plan. Know what you have and where you have it. Now, the bills, the dreaded bills, informational allies. Gather 3 months of recurring bills. Once everything's together, take a deep breath. You've taken the first major step toward financial clarity. Now that you have your pile of documents, it's time to figure out your net worth. The first part of that equation is listing everything you own of financial value. These are your assets. Your assets are your financial power. They are the resources you will use to fund your retirement, so you need to know exactly what they are and what they are worth. Get a clean sheet of paper or open a new spreadsheet and label it assets. We are going to create a clear, honest, and powerful list. This is the moment where you get to see the rewards of all your years of hard work and saving. Don't be shy, be proud of what you have built. Let's start with the most liquid assets, the cash. Look at your bank statements and write down the current balance of your checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts. This is your immediate cash reserve. For example, you might have $5,000 in checking and $20,000 in a high-yield savings account. Next, we move to your investments. Look at your most recent 401k IRA and brokerage account statements. Next on the list is your home. If you own your home, this is likely one of your largest assets. You need to get a realistic estimate of its current market value. Once you have listed every single asset, from the cash in your bank to the value of your home, add it all up. This is your financial strength. Okay, we've looked at the good stuff, all the assets you've built up. Now we have to look at the other side of the coin. We have to face the music and list your liabilities. A liability is just a fancy word for debt. It's what you owe to others. You cannot, I repeat, cannot have a clear financial picture without looking your debt straight in the eye. Ignoring it will not make it go away. It will only let it grow and sabotage your retirement dreams. So take another deep breath, grab a piece of paper or open a spreadsheet and label it liabilities. Honesty is non-negotiable. The biggest liability for most homeowners is their mortgage. Find your latest mortgage statement. Write down the total remaining balance, not the monthly payment. For example, home worth $350,000, mortgage balance $100,000. If you have a home equity line of credit, list that balance. Car loan, find the statement and write the outstanding balance. Student loans for yourself, list the remaining balance. Any other personal loans from banks or credit unions, list them. No debt gets to hide in the shadows. Finally, credit card debt. Pull statements for every card and list each balance. Visa, $3,000. MasterCard, $1,500. Store card, $500. Add them together. Total credit card debt, $5,000. Write that number down. Once mortgage, other loans, and credit cards are listed, add everything up. Now calculate, total assets minus total liabilities equals net worth. That single number is your starting line. Now we get to the exciting part. We're going to figure out how much money you will have coming in each month during your retirement. This is your retirement paycheck. For decades, you've been used to a steady income from your job. But in retirement, that income will come from different sources you've hopefully been building. Understanding these income streams is absolutely critical to creating a budget you can actually live on. We need to be realistic and use concrete numbers whenever possible. So get a new sheet of paper and let's map out your future cash flow. This is where your financial plan starts to feel real. The first and most foundational source of income for most retirees is Social Security. You need to get an accurate estimate of your future benefit. The best way to do this is to go to the Social Security Administration's website, ssa.gov, and create a My Social Security account. It will give you a personalized estimate of your monthly benefit based on your earnings history, whether at age 62, your full retirement age, or age 70. For our example, let's say you and your spouse together will receive a combined $3,500 per month. Next, do you have a pension? Traditional pensions are less common now, but many people, especially those who worked in government, education, or for certain large corporations, still have them. Now we have to figure out how to turn your savings and investments into income. A common guideline is the 4% rule, which suggests you can safely withdraw 4% of your total investment portfolio. Once you add it all up, Social Security, pensions, withdrawals, and other sources, you have your total estimated monthly retirement income. We've tallied up your assets, faced your debts, and calculated your future income. Now comes the most detailed part of the process: estimating your expenses in retirement. This is where the rubber meets the road. You absolutely must have a realistic understanding of where your money will go each month. Many people make the huge mistake of assuming their expenses will drop dramatically in retirement. While some costs, like commuting, may go away, others, like healthcare, will likely increase. Being honest and thorough in this step is the key to creating a budget that won't leave you short at the end of the month. To start, think about your expenses in two main categories: fixed and variable. Fixed expenses are the ones that are roughly the same amount every single month. These are the pillars of your budget: mortgage payment, rent. Next are your variable expenses. These are the costs that can change from month to month. This category is much broader and requires a bit more detective work: groceries, gasoline, utility bills. The best way to get a handle on these is to go through your last 3 to 6 months of bank and credit card statements. See what you actually spent in these categories. Don't guess. The numbers are right there in black and white. Don't forget to account for expenses that don't happen every month, but can be significant. We will leave no stone unturned. Let's dig deeper into the needs side of your expense ledger. These are the non-negotiable items you must pay for to live a safe and healthy life. Getting these numbers right is the bedrock of a secure retirement. The biggest expense for most retirees is housing. If you still have a mortgage, that payment is your starting point. But don't stop there. Property taxes, homeowners insurance, a fund for ongoing maintenance and repairs. After housing, your next major need is healthcare. This is the budget item that people underestimate the most, and it can be financially devastating if you get it wrong. If you are retiring before age 65, you will need to budget for private health insurance through the marketplace, which can be very expensive. Once you turn 65, you'll be on Medicare. Part B. Part D. Prescriptions. A supplemental Medigap or Medicare Advantage plan. You also need to budget for deductibles, co-pays, and costs that Medicare doesn't cover, like dental, vision, and hearing aids. Now for the everyday basics: food, utilities, and transportation. Go through your past statements to get a real average of what you spend on groceries. Be honest about how often you eat out. Look at a full year's worth of bills to get an average, as heating and cooling costs can change dramatically with the seasons. Knowing this number gives you incredible power and clarity. Life is not just about paying bills. Retirement should be about enjoying the fruits of your labor. This is where we budget for the wants, the things that make life joyful, interesting, and fulfilling. Neglecting to plan for these is a huge mistake. If you create a budget that is all work and no play, you won't stick to it. You'll feel deprived and frustrated. A smart budget makes room for fun. It gives you permission to spend on your hobbies, travel passions without guilt, because you have planned for it. This is how you build a retirement you will truly love living. So, what do you want your retirement to look like? Be specific. Do you dream of traveling? Don't just say travel. How often do you want to go? Are you thinking of a big European trip once a year or several smaller domestic trips to visit family and friends? Do you have hobbies? Maybe you love to golf, garden, paint. Estimate the monthly or annual cost of greens fees, supplies, classes. This category also includes all the little day-to-day pleasures. This is your budget for dining out at your favorite restaurants, going to the movies or theater, Buying books, don't forget about giving. For many people, being able to give to their children, grandchildren, or favorite charities is a huge source of joy. If you want to be able to give generous gifts or make regular donations, you must include it in your budget. We've done it. We have walked through every step. You've gathered your documents, listed your assets and liabilities to find your net worth, calculated your retirement income, estimated all of your expenses, both the needs and the wants. Now you have the complete picture. You have your total estimated monthly income and your total estimated monthly expenses. The final step is to put them side by side. Is your income greater than your expenses? If it is, congratulations. You have a surplus, which means your plan is on solid ground. You can use that surplus to save for bigger goals, invest more, or simply have a larger cushion for emergencies. But what if your expenses are higher than your income? First, do not panic. This is not a failure. This is why we do this exercise. This is a discovery. Having this knowledge before you retire is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It gives you time to make adjustments. You now have a powerful tool to see where you can make changes. You are in the driver's seat. The power of this process cannot be overstated. You have replaced fear, anxiety, and guesswork with facts, figures, and clarity. You are no longer flying blind. You have a roadmap. You understand your financial landscape. That, my friends, is true financial freedom.